Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time.
This episode of the Kindness Project was recorded live on Facebook during lockdown, which explains why we're probably still talking about being stuck indoors. I hope you're enjoying your time outside to the fullest, and thanks for listening to the Kindness Project. This week on the Kindness Project, we talk about virtually New York, podcast cheating, and we're joined by Deana Gao.
Good morning and welcome to the Kindness Project. I am joined by a girl who is wearing the funkiest t-shirt I've ever seen in my life. It's Charlotte Dames.
And I'm joined by a man who has been playing Spider-Man recently. I completely forgot what I was going to say.
Spider-Man, the PlayStation 4 game, is amazing. I mean, like, I am a gamer.
The amount of times I've walked into your mum's bedroom and you're just sitting there playing it, I'm like...
Yeah. You know what? You know what's amazing, right, about Spider-Man as well? It's set in New York because Spider-Man is from New York, and not having to travel, like not being able to travel during lockdown, it's the only opportunity I've got to like wander around Central Park. It's quite funny. And I, on the international theme, we are joined by an amazing lady, direct from China. It's Deana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Really good, thanks. Thanks for joining us. And we're hoping the connections. We're hoping the connection works really well. We're going to move straight on though to the question of the podcast to give our live viewers an opportunity to answer.
All five of them.
Morning, all five of you. You know what my dad said to me yesterday? I spoke to Granddad yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said to me, we've had 20,000 views of the Kindness Project over the last couple of weeks. So people are clearly enjoying our nonsensical wafflings, including Deana. You've watched a couple of our live videos as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have. It's really good, and I was like, I didn't know you guys are doing this. And the one day I was just sitting around with my phone, and I see it pop up and say there's a watch party. It's like, okay, that's great because I followed you guys.
Yeah,
and, I watched a few episodes. You guys are doing an amazing job. Thank you for keeping us connected and entertained.
Yeah, I don't know. I think entertain might be taking it too far, to be honest, but I'll take the compliment anyway. But we've had 20,000 views on our little videos over the past couple of weeks. But sometimes you just need somebody to you're quite impressed. I was quite impressed by the fact that we had 20,000 views. My dad said, yeah, but only about 10 or 15 tune in live. I was like, cheers, mate. I'm trying to do something good here.
Not even that half the time.
It's not even that. Today we've got 4 people watching.
Well, we did have 5 at one point.
But if you're enjoying it and you're watching either live or after, if you're one of those 20,000 views, we thank you and we really appreciate it. Morning, Trev.
Morning, dudes.
Morning, dudes. Trev always tunes in. But let's get the question of the podcast out the way straight away.
Yes.
Which is, what are you binge watching at the minute? If you're in lockdown and you've got a bit more time on your hands, what shows are you really getting into? Deana, what are you watching? A lot more TV, or what are you binge watching? Anything?
I'm sure you guys will laugh at me. I'm actually watching a show that was released 20 years ago, a Chinese show about a lost princess who was found by an emperor, and the whole bunch of funny story created by this princess.
Okay.
It's really funny and silly.
Okay, so what's it called?
I love watching old shows, so I'm rewatching that. I'm on season 2 right now.
So you're not alone, because a lot of the answers we've already had to question in the podcast aren't brand new shows. They're people revisiting stuff from their past. And weirdly, I introduced you to Gladiators the other day. Deana, have you ever heard of Gladiators?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're probably better off not, to be honest.
No.
I mean, it was a 90s.
Well, now I already know. I'm going to look it up.
YouTube it. Yeah, you have a look at YouTube. They're all there. It's a cheesy British show where they pitted contestants against these, I don't know, these bodybuilders and like fitness gladiators, like brand new gladiators.
Okay.
But but it was quite cheesy actually. Morning to Amanda, morning to Russ, morning to Steve, morning to Lorraine, morning to Barry. Thanks for tuning in. Morning to Andy, and morning to Tamsin. Really appreciate you tuning in. And please answer today's question of the podcast. Apart from watching the Kindness Project, which, to be frank, a lot of people are doing at the minute, what are you binge watching, Charlotte?
Well, I started watching Marvel's Runaways. Okay. I also started re-listening to a podcast because I'm not that big of a watcher.
Yeah, so what podcast?
It's called King Falls AM, and it's about this guy, and he's from the big city. It doesn't specify which one, I don't think.
From a random big city.
Yeah, and he moves to this small town called King Falls, and it's like there's all these paranormal stuff going on, and it's there's a lake monster and a ghost that turns signs around.
Sounds like Deana's show, actually. Deana, what's your show called? What's the show you like called?
What the show I like now or period?
Well, give us a few of your favourites.
They're really cheesy. I think you guys are going to really laugh at me, and then I'm going to ruin my image. I like this show called How I Met Your Mother.
Yes,
that one.
All right, now you found a kindred spirit in Charlotte because she likes that as well.
Oh, I love that show, and I love Game of Thrones. I love that one.
Oh, I love Game of Thrones.
And there's another one called The Modern Family. I also love that one. I love anything, any show that has babies or kids in there. That's my jam.
Yeah. No, Modern Family's good. Game of Thrones is good. How I Met Your Mother is good. Morning to Greg. Morning to Justin. Thanks for tuning in. Greg's watching twice. I don't even know how you do that. But yeah, no, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And again, let us know what your binge watch is at the minute, old or new. Don't be embarrassed that you might be re-watching a show from years ago. I might YouTube Bullseye when I get done tonight.
I remember there was this time where every time I used to come home from school, I used to re-watch old episodes of Doctor Who.
How old? How far would you go back?
Just coming out of black and white, kind of old.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. That is old. What I'm going to do before we start to talk to you, and so you can tell us about the amazing work you're doing at the minute, Deana. I want to talk about a friend of ours, Dave Forsdyke. Every single day he shares his silver linings of the coronavirus. And today he mentioned, Deana, have you heard about Captain Tom Moore, what he's done in the UK?
No, I don't think I've heard about that. So, what is it about?
So let me share this story. So a guy in the UK decided to raise £1,000 for the NHS.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay. The retired soldier who walked like 100 laps or something.
Absolutely. Yeah. So he was 99 to celebrate his 100th birthday. He decided to do 100 laps of his garden. Now he was 100 last Thursday, and he got 1,000 presents and 100,000 birthday cards. Now on Sunday we interviewed Louise Baker from one of our favourite organisations, Postcards for Kindness, and that just the meaning of just saying thank you, and not only that, he's been recognised with the Pride of Britain award, and he's raised over £29 million. Now I've got a feeling that'll be out of date already, because every time we look he seems to be raising more, and that's all going to NHS charities. So Tom Moore, you're doing amazing work. Keep the good work up, and I think he's pledged not to stop walking if people keep on donating. Now, I mean, I'm hoping he has a break for to sleep and have his breakfast,
have his meals,
but he might not. He might not, but we'll see. But yeah, so thank you, Dave, for sharing that story, and thank you, Tom Moore, for doing that amazing work. But anyway, I want to get on to chatting to you. So. You are a previous guest. We've had you on the audio version of the podcast before. Thank you for coming on. What time is it in your part of China at the moment?
It's 4:30 p.m. 4:39 p.m.
You know what? It's lucky we've both managed to pick reasonable times to have a conversation, because I think when we originally tried to arrange the audio interview, every time we picked, it was either in the middle of the night where you were or in the middle of the night where we were, and we just couldn't make it work. So now we know that 9:30 in the morning is 4:30 where you are. That's the time we're going to do the interviews in the future, right?
Yeah. It's a perfect timing. Thank you for arranging this.
No worries. And tell us about what's happening. I know you spoke earlier about what's happening with the current situation in China with coronavirus. Help us understand a bit more about that.
Yeah, I think pretty much back to normal. Like I was telling you earlier, looking out at my window, because I have a really busy road outside, and it's really busy right now. And we are all the restrictions are lifted up, and we can go anywhere we want and do whatever we want. But under the regulation that you have to wear a mask in public places, and you have to get your temperature checking when you enter malls and public spaces, and you have to show your QR code. We're assigned to a QR code, personalized QR code, to prove that you didn't get near anyone who has confirmed of the virus, and you have not been in contact with anyone. So we have to show that QR code to enter any like massage places, hotels, or those areas. So other than that, everything is back to normal, and then we are getting into one of the national holidays in a few days, and I was actually planning some holiday trips with friends, and everywhere we go, everywhere we look, the booking were crazy. We're going crazy.
Yeah.
So I think that's the indication of things that pretty much back to like almost normal, but still we are a little bit afraid of the second wave.
Yeah.
So the media and the state government is also announcing that and promoting that don't go to crowded places too much, and just avoid unnecessary gatherings and some public space. And some of I mean, most of stuff are back to normal, but some big gatherings, parties, and events are still not hosting and still not happening. That's pretty much it.
But it's been a bit of a gradual thing, right? You know, a bit of a sort of it's not going to get back to normal immediately. I think
No.
I think that's interesting. So.
Yeah, it's going to take a few more weeks or some time, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see that like everything is still vibrant, and the people are going to restaurants, bars, and stuff. So it's liberating to see after 4 months of depressing times.
Oh well,
we got this much earlier than you guys.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm sorry you're going through the same thing.
Well, you know what? Yeah, we'll get through it.
Yeah.
It's just reassuring to hear that there is light at the end of the lockdown tunnel. So I'm glad to hear that's the case. We're not on to talk about the coronavirus, because even though we mention it as a reality, we're all about sharing the good news on this show. And we know that you do amazing work in terms of both your business and what you do from a societal perspective. So before we talk about that, tell us a little bit about you.
Oh yeah. My name is Deana, and as you guys already know, I'm based in Chengdu, China, which is southwest of China. And I run two businesses. One is called China Gravy, which is an online marketing consulting company introducing foreign companies to China through online digital marketing portal and consultancy. And the other one is what we are going to talk about today the most is AirJulep. AirJulep is a platform to connect retired senior citizens with young students from the West and the students from the East to do culture and language exchange. So that's something I'm working on, and I'm spending most of my time working on.
Amazing.
Right,
so help us understand a little bit about your background, because did you used to be a journalist?
Yes, I used to be a DJ. I used to be a radio host, hosting some healthcare programs on the local radio station. I worked as marketer to bring two international companies to China through the online digital media. That's why I founded my other company, the marketing consulting company. So yeah, through the journalist and the marketing combination, I was able to bridge the consumers and brand and companies to the public.
Okay, amazing stuff. And I'd imagine there's a lot of Western firms looking to expand in the East now, right? So how's that business going?
Yeah, the business is going really well because one, we have been operating for 7 years, and two, our guys are actually doing a great job. So we have lots of referral clients from our current clients. And the third one is we did not get hit too much by this coronavirus crisis because all of our team are working remotely even before the virus. So
right.
We are virtual office system. So yeah, that one is going really well.
Good. So tell us a little bit about AirJulep and the amazing work you do.
Oh, thank you. That's too nice. So AirJulep is a new project I started to work from last year. The project is, like I said, aiming on providing companionship to retired senior citizens and also help the Asian English students to improve their spoken English. So by doing this, because the reason behind this is, first one, I always like to talk with older people. I think they're the wisest. It doesn't matter what they do. I can always learn things from them, and I love to talk with my grandparents. And second of all, when I was living and traveling abroad, I noticed that senior citizens outside of China are traditionally not living with the children or grandchildren or the family. They mostly live alone.
Yeah, it's family dynamics different.
Just caused some problem of isolation, and isolation caused some depression and some other clinical health problems. So that was inspired by the early travelings I did to Europe, and it's especially in the U.S. So I started to aim on creating a platform to be able to help them. And at the beginning, I didn't know what to do. I just know I want to do something. And later, it's also inspired by by the other company, the China Gravy one. I was like, most of our clients are in education. They're universities in the U.S., UK, and they're recruiting students from China and from Asia. But lots of schools have the problem of the applicants' English level are too low to apply for the school. They're really good at writing and reading, but lots of them get killed in the interview process because they cannot talk to the interviewer.
Well,
they don't know how to talk to them. I was trying to fix the problem with my marketing consulting clients, and then I realized, there's two groups of people who both need help. One is senior; they need someone to talk to them, and other one is students. They need someone to talk to them also, with a different purpose and different goal, but the bridge is the same. They just need to talk to themselves. That's why I came up with this idea of bridging these two group of people together.
And it's an interesting thing, isn't it? That learning how to hear and write another language, when you get into the colloquialisms of actually having a conversation with somebody is different to learning it formally, isn't it? And what you do is connect people so they can have actual conversations.
Exactly, because language, by the end of the day, is just a tool to communicate. Yeah. If you cannot communicate, even though you can write and read really well, the use of the tool is just not very, very efficient, right?
Yeah. So just I don't know if you remember last time we spoke. I was Charlotte. Just so you know, what I'm trying to do is share our own particular regional colloquialisms with China, right? So do you remember, Deana, we had how do you pronounce it?
Colloquialisms.
How did I say it?
Colloquialisms.
We can't even agree at this table what the right pronunciation is. What chance have we got teaching people in China? I mean, I don't know what's going on. But you know what? There's two thoughts in mind, right? Number one, I think the English are quite lazy when it comes to language because there's an expectation that I think personally I need to get better at that. But also number two, when you think about it, there's so many colloquialisms How'd you say it?
Colloquialisms.
Okay. And for our part of the world where we're on the Essex East London borders, we've got Cockney rhyming slang. Now, do you remember us talking about that last time, Deana?
Yeah, I do. I remember you were talking. You taught me one, but I forgot.
Right, do you want to pick one? So this is a weird conversation for a Tuesday, isn't it? But do you want to?
Got nothing to do with the Tuesday. This is a weird conversation any time of the week, isn't it? Nah, go on. You pick one.
Let's start with an easy one. Apples and pears. What does that mean?
Apple and pear. You told me this exact one, but I forgot. Apple, pear, stairs.
Hey! Well done. Great stuff.
Is it right?
Now it is. And if we've got any of our viewers who are from our particular part of the world, this will be an amazing opportunity to, on the Facebook Live. This is weird. This is weird, but this is incredible.
On the other Facebook Live stream.
On the Facebook Live, share with us what we should talk. What's your favourite unofficial question in the podcast? What's your favourite piece of Cockney rhyming slang? Keep it relatively clean. Relatively that we can share with Deana, so we can have that conversation. So if we could do that, that'd be great. Now. So the idea from AirJulep came from your conversations with your education-based clients. Help me understand how it works practically. How does the platform work practically?
Okay. It works. It's really easy. So basically, there are two parts of the users that we bridge. One is the seniors, and one is the students. Seniors wise, the platform is opening to the UK, US, Ireland, and Australia, 4 countries only. Okay. So what they need to do is they only need to go to our website, AirJulep.com, to go to register their information as the phone number, the availability, the hobbies, and the preferred time to talk. So this whole process takes 2 minutes. So once this registration is done, their informations are going to get sent into our app, which is used by the student side. So student-wise, now the smartphone app opens to users in Japan, China, and Korea. So they need to download the app, and they need to sign up, and then they can go through our profiles for the seniors who registered with the platform. And then once they choose the ones that are online, and have interested, has the topic that they would love to talk about, they can just make one click, and our app will indicate the call to the seniors on seniors' cell phone and landline. So no need seniors to learn about smartphone, computer, or tablet or anything. As long as they know how to use cell phone and landline to answer calls, they will be able to use our platform. And all those informations were completely protected with our system. Our system is using an American telecommunication provider called Twilio, and they store and protect all the information, and we record all the conversation, and we have AI to catch any inappropriate work and to indicate any crime, fraud, or any kind of inappropriate conversation, and notify us as a management team if that happens, and then we will go back to the conversation, listen to the conversation, and then take necessary actions by either blogging the user or warn the user, or even take legal actions if necessary. So by doing this, we really just trying to protect for this, selfishly, I'm more trying to protect seniors, because seniors here are more vulnerable here, and they're not familiar with technology. So we want the call to be positive, warm, and there will be zero tolerance on any crime, or any fraud, or any inappropriate speeches while using our platform.
So when you ask, so help me understand, when you ask for people's interest, so is that so you can connect people who might be interested in similar sort of things, and give me an example of how those interests sometimes match?
Okay. Sure. So basically, the seniors will have between 15 to 20 options to choose. They can choose their hobby as reading, swimming, some other ones I don't remember. So they can choose those hobbies. And then once they choose those hobbies, our students will see their chosen hobbies from their app. So from the app, the hobbies will show up on the app, and the student will see, oh yeah, this lady likes to read books. This lady likes to watch movie. Maybe I like to read book. I like to watch movies. So I would like to talk to her. So that's how it works. Yeah. And it's like really easy. You don't need to type in what you need to, what your hobbies are, but you can select our pre-inserted hobby, and you can, the seniors can also write a few sentences to introduce themselves and to talk a little bit more about themselves. So all this public information, only those hobbies and the introduction about themselves are public. The phone number and anything will not be revealed on the app side. So the app will only show the name, age, location, and hobby and introduction. So the students will just use those filters to choose which one they would like to talk with, and then they will just call them and talk about the same thing. It's kind of like the icebreaker as well, and the guide the conversation, and how to make sure the conversation goes smoothly without any
smoothly. Yeah, well, it's interesting because there's also a scheme in the UK that does run by a big charity in the UK called AirJulep, and we've had one of our guests, a guy called Jason. He came on the podcast not as a representative of AirJulep, but just as somebody who's involved in the project, and he got connected to a lady who was, I think Jason's similar age to me, so he's in his early 40s. But the lady he speaks to is up in Liverpool in her 80s, and she loves the Beatles, and that's their connection. They always talk about the Beatles, and it's weird because he started the project as a way to tackle loneliness and help people make sure they weren't alone.
Exactly.
But then, funny enough, he said that she's now my friend. You know, it's turned from a relationship which was I want to help to we're just mates now, and I think that dynamic changes over time as relationships are built, right?
Yeah. It happens in our platform as well. I remember because I selectively listen to the conversation recordings from our seniors and our students. I remember one call. Girl was what was a 20 minutes call, and half of the time they were talking about yoga, about like what kind of yoga do they do, and what kind of pose. I even go as detailed as pose, like which pose they love particularly. That was really, really interesting, and makes me smile every time when I listen to those recordings.
Just so we can learn as well, because we want to learn a bit about China. How do you translate downward dog into Mandarin?
Oh, downward dog. I actually don't know.
Right, okay. Is it where your particular part of China, is Mandarin more prevalent?
We have our local dialogue, but we do speak Mandarin. So Mandarin is a national language we have to speak whenever we go anywhere. But locally, we speak the local dialogue, which is a little bit different than the Mandarin pronunciation. 50%. I think people from Beijing and from other part of China, if they don't know the dialogue, they will understand between 50 to, no, that's too low, 70% of our dialogue.
And how do you manage that on the platform? Because clearly you've got a lot of your students across China, and therefore may have different dialects. Is Mandarin the standard, and then that's translated? How does it work?
We in our side of managing students, Mandarin is the go-to language. There's not, like, our work language is Mandarin, but locally, if I go out to buy fruits or go to some restaurants and stuff, I will speak local dialect because I know they're the local from here, but our students are from all over China, and some of them from Japan, Korea, and stuff. So for our training sessions and
Mandarin
for our communication sessions, we use English and Chinese Mandarin, and never dialogue. The dialogue for in this setting is just for fun.
Okay, fair enough. And just help me understand. Have you got a version of rhyming slang? Have you ever heard of rhyming slang in a Chinese local language? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is it?
Do you mean tongue twister?
Sort of, but like rhyming, like using words to rhyme to get to a different meaning. Does that like sort of, is that a thing?
Yes, it is a thing. I can't remember one, but I can tell you a tongue twister, which is really close to what you're saying, rhyme and slang, which like for will be no problem for people from other regions, like in Beijing or other regions, but it's a huge problem for people from my region.
Okay,
because the pronunciation is really different.
Okay, I'm right. Share it with us. See if we can do it.
Okay. I don't even know if I can do this. Okay, get ready. 4是4，10是10，14是14，40是40。
Not even going to try. I mean, genuinely, that was amazing. That was amazing. You know, I can't even do a Spanish. You know the tongue on the teeth Spanish pronunciation. I can't even do that. So, Deana, I'm not even going to attempt that.
I can't even speak English properly.
I'm still trying to learn English. I mean, give me a chance. Charlotte's got a question.
Oh yeah. So, what story that you've experienced on the platform best reflects what the platform is aiming to do?
Story have I got into of the platform?
So what story best describes the work you do?
I think the stories is when I get lots of support messages from my friends and my acquaintance. So so let me reframe. So the story is that I get lots of support from my friends and family and everybody I know, because ever since I started this project, when we start to promote this one, people have been really, really, really supportive, and I get like constant reminder of this is a really meaningful project. Let us know what we can do to help. Like I hope things are going well with you. You're doing an amazing thing, and even sometimes I was telling you guys earlier that I'm still going to school. Yeah. So like sometimes when the schoolwork gets a little bit overwhelming, my team, my study group will even say, hey, if you need some more time to work on your stuff, just take the work to us, give the work to us. You will do your thing to take care of people. So I was like really touched. That really best describe what I do. It's really heartwarming, and I feel really supportive, and like I just get so much love from everyone.
Yeah, it restores your faith in humanity a bit, doesn't it? When people are you just offer you help.
Yeah. It's not just a job anymore. It's just it's more something like people feel like people acknowledge your effort, acknowledge your effort on this, and they try to offer as much support as they can.
Yeah. Charlotte's got another question.
How has this work been changed by the coronavirus, and how are you dealing with it?
We actually launched a new campaign. So the new campaign is called Support from Afar. So we actually pivot this one into a free non-profit project. So basically what we do is we launched a new campaign to select a group of volunteers from China, Japan, and Korea. We interview them and make sure the English skill is really, really good. Don't need to practice English to be able to talk to anyone, and they're positive and they have time and they're devoted on volunteering work. So we selected this group of people, and we promoted this new campaign to trying to give the isolated seniors caring call. So that's an ongoing campaign we're doing. Other than just the regular AirJulep connection, the platform. So it's a free nonprofit campaign we're running. And again, that has been a biggest pivot from our side to cope with the coronavirus, because I feel like we have this platform to be able to do this, to connect the seniors and students easily. Why not use it to just serve the current crisis and be somewhat useful?
Yeah. Just to
yes, please.
Just a quick question. So you're studying for your MBA. You've got two businesses to run. Where do you find the time?
Oh, well, there's a saying that if you do what you love, you don't really feel like you're working. So I'm like working even when I'm sleeping. So I have like so much time.
Okay.
Too much time.
Okay, fair enough. And what is the what's the aspiration? What's the future look like for AirJulep?
I'm very positive about this project. I think this is for now the region of the availability for this platform is quite limited. We only open to 7 countries, but in the future we are going to open to more countries and also maybe in different languages and also we are trying to, because right now what happens, the scope is that seniors will forever use the platform for free, and but students will need to pay a little bit fee, like really small fee, between $20 to $100 per month to subscribe our service, our platform on our app, so they can use the building calling system.
Yeah.
So in the future, what we are trying to do is to expand to different different regions and languages. And the other one is enroll some financial compensation to seniors for those who are in need. So, for instance, if seniors are if they are in financial need, they can sign up to our program to get a little bit more training. I don't want to say training, but more like a structural language body system. So they will sign up to be the language body, and they will be enrolled into the payroll. So basically, the students while still doing the same thing, use our platform, and the seniors becoming a more mindful language body, and then once they complete the time, they will be able to get paid.
Yeah.
So that's the future.
Yeah.
So and also in the future we are going to open this platform to disabled people. So disabled people will be able to use to enroll the language body training program. So they will be also engaging with some financial gains as well if needed.
I like the idea of that. I mean, I'm currently writing the book, The Kindness Project, based on the stuff we're doing on the podcast. And what we've been lucky enough to do on the podcast is interview loads of business people with a social conscience. So do well, do good. And actually, I think business through employment and through entrepreneurship has a massive chance to actually give back to the community, right? So that commercial arrangement, but also being able to employ people who benefit from the companionship, but are also being paid to teach, is a really, really interesting concept. I love it. Charlotte, you had another question.
Yes.
So where can people find out more about you and this project?
Okay. Well, people can find me on LinkedIn and Facebook. If I will should I type it later? So you can type in Deana Gao, DeanaGao, to find me, and also visit our website, AirJulep.com. Air is air up to the air. Julep is JULEP. I'm surprised you guys haven't asked me why we choose this name yet, because this is not an easy name.
Charlotte, do you want to ask?
Should we ask?
Should we? You know what? The thing is, I don't know whether we should. No, we will. Why? I think we asked last time, didn't we? Why AirJulep?
So do you know there's a cocktail? There's an old school cocktail called mint julep.
I've not heard of it. I'm looking at the research department right now. My wife's heard of it. Charlotte, have you ever had a mint julep?
I don't like cocktails.
No, she's not keen on cocktails. So what's in a mint julep? What's in the cocktail?
There's mint soda and it's I don't remember anymore, but it's a really really old school cocktail from the 1920 or 1930s.
Right,
or
you know,
even older. But
you know what's
so
interesting?
I'll look it up for the ingredients, but it looks really beautiful and refreshing, by the way. There's mint leaves and stuff. So basically, the name is we're trying to get into this old classy like stuff to name our project.
Yeah.
And then when we find mint julep, I and my business partner we're like not party people, but we like those old classy things. So we find let's use this one. And julep in Chinese also means like place where the place where gathers all the joy.
Okay.
So it's like club. So like club kind of concept, but not like those club, just like the joy club.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why we got this name AirJulep, and we want this place to be a joyful place.
A joyful club.
People. And enjoy the joy over the air.
Amazing.
Like the
Love
joy
it.
is up to the air.
Love it. You know what was interesting? One of the questions we asked on a kindness project a couple of weeks ago was what you add into your travel list while you're in lockdown. So I certainly know that my list is the places that I'm now going to go after lockdown. It's growing and growing. It's going to take me 10 years to get through that list. But somebody mentioned one that I needed to add to my list. Which was Singapore. I've never been to Singapore. I've been sort of over that part of the world. We've been to Japan and we've been to other places. I've never been to China, so I need to come and visit you, really, Deana, don't I? That's what I need to do.
You need to. And when you come to China, don't just go to Beijing and Shanghai. You need to come to Chengdu. Chengdu is really the place to be. I keep telling people, and like we have the best food, best food, and I think the food is the is the best one.
So
you need to come here. I'll show you around.
Amazing. So your pitch, though, can I just talk about this?
We have the best food.
Your pitch
best food.
is best food. Weather's all right. That's it, is it?
Yeah, but that's enough, right? Like food is really important.
Food is life. Food is life. Best food. So weather.
I went to live in Thailand for a year just because I love the food over there. So
yeah, and actually the bit I remember most about our Japan trip last year was the food. I mean, just incredible food. But it's all good. So we'll certainly share all your links, all your social connections on the show notes. Russ, if you're watching, can you make sure you get that organised for Deana? Thanks for coming to join us. But what I'd like to do before you go, and just in case you had a bit of spare time on your hands, let's just share with you some of the answers to the podcast. Answers to the question the podcast we've had about what people are binge watching at the minute, and we'll see whether you've seen these shows. So the first one we've had is Justin's told us my connection's really slow at the minute. Hold on. So the favourite binge watch. So we've had the Line of Duty box set for a second time. Line of Duty is a UK cop show, and it is one of the best cop shows on telly. Amazing stuff.
I wouldn't pass it up for Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is amazing. Have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Deana?
I've heard about it, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's
very funny.
Good, very good. So Steve Dan has gone old school, and it's an old 70s, early 80s cop show in the UK called the Sweeney. Have you ever seen the Sweeney? Proper old school, but really good. Dunkirk has said Ashes to Ashes. Now that's a good show. Judith Hitchin said she's loving My Kitchen Rules Australia.
Yes.
First 5 seasons she's done, averaging 46 episodes per
Yeah,
season.
there's a lot of episodes.
But how long does it take you to get through 46 episodes? Are they like an hour long? They're about an hour long.
I can't remember. I used to just watch them all in a row.
Right, okay. But that's half your life right there. Do you know what I mean? 5 seasons of 46 episodes. I don't know where you're finding the time, Judith, but all good. Katie Bragoli said Prison Break. She's enjoying Prison Break at the minute. Mark O'Halloran's enjoying Bosch. John Cook's enjoying season 2 of Afterlife, and I am loving that at the minute. Ricky Gervais has got a new show out, Deana, called Afterlife on Netflix, and it's both cringe-makingly funny, which is what Ricky Gervais does, but also very, very sad. And to be honest, it doesn't take me much now to cry. Do you like Pixar films? Have you seen any of the Pixar films, Deana?
Pizza?
Pixar, you know, like Wall-E and Toy Story.
Oh, yes, Pixar. I thought, like, we're talking about movies, but you're talking about pizza.
Well, I thought
yes.
I thought I'd just carry on the food theme. But what there's interestingly, it's not the best Pixar film. Why are you rolling your eyes? You know what I'm going to say, don't you? But the first 10 minutes of Up always makes me cry.
Aww.
Honestly, it's just.
That's cute.
But yeah, it's brilliant. So before Charlotte's eyes roll out of her head, I'm going to carry on. Kelly Crouchman said Ozark she's enjoying. Sarah Lou says she's liking Unorthodox and Afterlife. Tracy said she's liking Afterlife as well. Another vote for Afterlife by Tamsin. Caroline Thompson said Power, Ozark, and Say Yes to the Dress. And David Dennison, we've done that, said Line of Duty. So they are what our audience is watching at the minute as a binge watch. Have you, Deana, have you seen any of those shows, or what do you think about those choices?
I've watched some of them. I have to say, some of them are on my favorite list.
Amazing, great stuff. Before we go, we've started a new tradition, as you know, Deana, on the Kindness Project live shows, that we always end with a joke. So be prepared.
Stall for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Because I accidentally shut my phone down.
Now, what we should do, and we're going to start this with Deana, is ask our guest, before you do your joke, ask our guest to share their best joke. So, Deana, what's the best joke you know?
The best joke. Okay. Judy loves to laugh very, very much. And one day she heard a joke and she died. Why?
Don't know.
Okay, ready?
Go on.
Because she was laughing so hard and she ate him. She ate herself.
I genuinely don't know whether I've lost that in translation or that's so. Charlotte loves it. Charlotte clearly loves it. I'm just confused. But clearly it's made Deana chuckle. Right, now you've got to compete with that. This is battle of the jokes now. Give me your joke.
No, mine's going to be terrible.
Go on then.
As always.
Go on then.
I'll find them now.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, so I've said this one to me the other day.
Go on then.
What is the colour of the wind?
I don't know.
What's the color of the wind? Green?
Blue.
Blue. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, no, it's
Deana,
terrible.
that face of just confusion is the right response. On that note,
I make them worse every time.
have a lovely day. We'll see you tomorrow. We've got an amazing, I can't even remember who's on tomorrow, but I know we've got an amazing guest. We'll see you then. Have a lovely Tuesday, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you so much for coming on, Deana.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a good day there and take care.
Cheers.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.